Hi there everyone and welcome. Today's recipe is for a meal in a jar. This one I'm calling $1 million spaghetti. And it is a wonderful, delicious, really rich casserole. You might have seen on the internet, there's different versions of this. Some people call this millionaire spaghetti. Some call it $1 million spaghetti. But it's either a combination of a red marinara and meat sauce with a cream cheese based sauce or a meat sauce with an alfredo sauce. I'm going to do the alfredo sauce version. I'm just going to season this up with some yummy seasonings, put a good bit of cheese in there, and we're going to have a fantastic dish on our hands. It's really good, y'all. I'm going to start with a quart-sized jar because I wanted about 4 servings. We actually got 5 servings out of this. I used a 7-ounce bag of spaghetti, and I went ahead and broke up that pasta into thirds so it would fit better in the jar. In goes our Thrive Life marinara sauce. It's so good. And then some yummy seasonings. I will include the full recipe as well as my shopping link down in the description box below. I suggest you add about 1.5 cups of meat. I used half sausage crumbles, half ground beef, and I like to pulse those in the blender first so that they fit better in the jar and they cook up nicer. Now, I love the green bell peppers in here, but of course, if you don't like those, you can just leave them out. The tomato dices are great because it helps to kind of give that marinara sauce a little bit of texture. Into the baggie, I'm basically going to build an alfredo sauce. The bechamel sauce, heavy cream powder, butter powder, and then Parmesan cheese. So that's basically the makings of alfredo sauce. I like to keep it separate because I want to add it later in the cooking process, so I went ahead and put that in a bag. And you can go ahead and get an oxygen absorber in there. This is kind of a tight fit, but it does fit. Now, on top of $1 million spaghetti, I like to put more cheese. So I'm going to show you that you can use freeze-dried cheese for this. You can store some freeze-dried mozzarella in just a little jar next to your spaghetti jar. That's a 1/2 pint jar. And this is what you can store on your pantry shelf. If you decide you really like $1 million spaghetti, you can make several of these in advance and have them on your pantry shelf, ready and waiting for you. And if you don't have the mozzarella or you don't want to use freeze-dried cheese, you can just make yourself a note to have some freshly grated mozzarella whenever you make this dish. I like to start with the mozzarella, and y'all, I'm so silly. I don't know why I put that into a different bowl. The last time I did this, one of my subscribers said, "Kareth, just put the water into the jar, give it a shake and put it in the fridge and then it'll be ready." And I thought, oh yeah, that's brilliant. I'm going to do that next time. Did I remember? No. I don't know. I got another bowl dirty, so don't be like me. You can put the water straight into the jar. I ended up adding 4 tablespoons of water to get this mozzarella good and refreshed or rehydrated. That freeze-dried cheese really does not want to take on water, so it takes a little bit of coaxing. But I just covered it and put it into the fridge and let it hang out until I was ready for it. Next, I like to get the alfredo sauce ready, and that's a cup of water into the bottom of a blender cup. And then I kind of had to push down the powders in order to get my blade lid on the top. But I do like to blend this first. It just ensures that you don't have any lumps of powder in your alfredo sauce. This is a really nice, thick alfredo sauce. I wanted to show you the consistency of it here. So there's no pockets of dry powder left. It's completely incorporated. The only little chunks you see in there are that's from the Parmesan cheese. All right, and you can dump the rest of the ingredients into a large skillet And then you can just add about 4.5 cups of water. I'm using my Buc-ee's cup. I love Buc-ee's. All right, stir it gently here because that pasta, the pasta noodles are so brittle right now. You don't want to do anything too vigorous because they'll just break on you. Get some heat going, and as this comes up to temperature, it'll be a lot easier to stir. The pasta will be a little bit more pliable, and you just want to make sure all of the pockets of sauce powders are completely incorporating into the water. Once you reach a really good vigorous boil, you can turn down your temperature a little bit. I ended up somewhere near medium, about a 4 out of 5 on my stove. You do want to continue to boil it because you're trying to cook your pasta. You want that pasta tender. I simmered this for about 10 minutes, and I learned the hard way that I should stir frequently. I had my pasta stick to the bottom quite a bit, so be sure that you stir it pretty frequently. And once your pasta is al dente, you can add that alfredo sauce. I added a little bit more water into the container to get the rest of it out. But it's a really rich, luxurious sauce. Most $1 million spaghetti recipes are a layered recipe, so they'll combine the alfredo sauce with the pasta and then layer on the meat sauce, or maybe vice versa. But I didn't want to do that. I just want a one pot wonder kind of dish, so I went ahead and combined everything. Bring that back to a simmer because you want to cook your alfredo sauce. You want to melt that Parmesan cheese. Then give it a taste and make your adjustments. I waited until after I added the alfredo because it has quite a bit of Parmesan in it to see if I needed more salt. And then I ended up adding another pinch of salt, and then it was perfect. All right, now it's time to check on that mozzarella cheese. Mine was great. Just fluff it up a little bit and it'll be ready to add to the top of your dish. Now, I went ahead and put this in the oven and broiled it for about 4 or 5 minutes. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You can put the lid on this and just let it sit until that mozzarella melts. This is after about 4 or 5 minutes of broiling. It gets really nice and browned on the top. Now it's time to let it sit. You need to let this sit and kind of set up, tighten up for maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And after that rest period, it'll be ready to serve. It helps the sauce to thicken and for the pasta to continue to absorb the sauce. Everything is really flavorful at this point, and the casserole is really nice and tightened up. Just look at that. It's a beautiful casserole. See, it thickens up really nicely during that rest period. The combination of that red meat sauce with the Alfredo sauce, you get that nice orangey pink color, and I think it's gorgeous. This is a really, really rich dish. I bet that's why they call it $1 Million Spaghetti, is because it is such a rich tasting sauce. It's so good. It's luxurious, yummy, scrumptious, all the things. It's delicious. I definitely recommend this one, y'all. If you serve it with some garlic bread and maybe a salad like we did, I think you could probably get at least 4 large servings. Like I said, we got 5 servings out of this because it's really rich. So yeah, look at that. You can see the meat in there, the green bell peppers, that gorgeous sauce. The pasta's nice and tender. And I wanted to show y'all, I got it finally on camera. A little bit of a cheese pull. That mozzarella on the top is really nice. All right, guys, there you have it. Thanks for watching. Oh, and I wanted to tell you that I am almost finished with my cookbook that I have been working on for so many months. And I'm excited about it. I will let y'all know when it's ready for you to purchase. It's almost 100 pages long at this point. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. God bless you. And until next time, y'all take care and keep thriving.